political uncertainty, trade wars, deficits, actual hot wars. Today, I'm going to take a look at the question, how much gold should I have in my retirement portfolio? Hey, I'm Zach Lundak. I'm an hourly financial planner. I work with millionaires who want some financial planning help, but don't want to pay AUM fees for the rest of their life. So let's get into it. So number one, what role does gold play in the portfolio? Clients come at this from different perspectives. One example that I see a lot is, hey, I just want some insurance in case things go really bad. I want to be able to have some insurance on my portfolio. That'd be one angle. Second angle is it's a trade. Hey, I think gold is going to outperform over the next X time period. And then three would be, hey, long term, I just want to have some gold. I just think it's a great investment. So how much gold should you actually own? I think it's going to depend a lot on how you're approaching that question as to why you want to own gold in the first place. So around that 10% mark is kind of a decision point of the entire portfolio where you go, hey, over 10%, okay, this is a big allocation relative to everything else I have going on. We're going to have to make some actual strategic decisions here because this is going to start impacting my long-term expected return in the portfolio versus under 10%. I think that's probably more of a less consequential decision, and you can probably get away with just doing things a little bit more flexibly. So it depends on your reasons. Again, I think people that are looking at more of an insurance play would tend to be closer to that 10% or possibly north of that, whereas people who say, hey, I just want to have exposure to gold for the long term or a trade, probably under that 10%. The best ways to own gold, the two main ways is one, actually just go out and buy physical gold. You can buy it online, or you can go to your local coin store and buy physical gold coins or bars depending on your budget. Second way would be to buy a financial product where the investment company buys physical gold and then they give you a receipt and you have ownership of that gold. So a couple ways to do it. Again, it probably depends on your goals as to what you want to have that gold do for you in the event that your prediction as to why gold might be a good investment for you comes true. Gold versus other inflation hedges, real estate, tips, a basket of other commodities. These could all help accomplish a similar thing. So if inflation protection is your main objective with gold, it probably makes sense to own a basket of these other things like real estate and other commodities to try and make that a little bit more well diversified, just so you're not dependent on one commodity that's trying to hedge your inflation risk. Some common mistakes that I see, one would be paying huge markups on physical gold. So if you go down to your coin shop, you could be paying 10, 20, 30% over spot price for gold. Don't do that. You probably get cheaper gold online and they'll ship it directly to your house. Second would be forgetting the tax implications. So gold has some special tax implications that are subject to change with any tax law change, but make sure you're aware of that because sometimes it makes sense to actually hold it in a different, outside of a brokerage account if you're going to hold financial gold instead of physical gold. And the taxes, of course, still apply to physical gold as well. Number three is trying to time the market. So pretty hard to actually time when would be a good time to buy and sell gold. Don't try and do that. And then, emotional, any investing decision driven by emotions likely going to have a high chance of regret later on. So try and make any investment decisions based on a plan that's going to develop over many, many years instead of seeing the news, getting stressed out and making a decision based on that, based on emotion. So do you need gold in the portfolio? No, you can definitely have a great retirement portfolio without owning gold, but depending on your specific situation, it could make sense to have a little bit or a little bit more depending on what you have going on in your financial life and your other goals. So just take a look at that, make a decision based on that. Let me know how you approach investing in gold in the comments. Be happy to learn a little bit more about that, and we'll see you later. Bye.